We've actually used that card before. Hello.
All right. Greetings, everyone. A little noon Axanar. How you doing, Alexander?
No, I'm doing fine. Yourself?
Good. I decided to get out of my my t-shirt, my sleep t-shirt, and put on a regular t-shirt and actually put on pants.
To
I figured
make everybody think that you've done normal human things.
Yeah. Well, I was going to work out, and usually I jump into my workout clothes, but no time to do that this morning. I've just been running, trying to get all this little stuff done. Oh, let's check in with everyone. Olive Drab was first. Just traveling through. Are you the home of Godzilla? Are you in Japan? Just traveling through. Let me know that.
Yeah.
I'm about to send an email out to all the Axanar fans in Japan. So let me know. Josh Ellis, how are you? Yeah, interesting time choice. Josh says, yeah, I'm trying to, I go through these periods where I evaluate my time management, and I realize my time management for the evening sucks, and I'm wasting a lot of time. Like, I know it's like after 6, I should be taking off and relaxing and playing with the dogs but I'm always either gaming or working. And if I'm gaming too much, I'm like, it just freaks me out, because it's like waste of life. Gaming equals waste of life, and I'm not moving towards. And there's so much work to do. I'm like, okay, I need to start working. So Jefferson and I've been talking about, okay, let's get on a regular schedule of streaming. Let's include, him and Jason, the other guys, JP, you, whatever. So. All right, I need to get more in that. Remember that mode we were back on during COVID, where we were live streaming all the time. And I'm like, okay, we need to do that. And look at all, and here's why we live stream during the day. Look at all these new people. Dustin D, how are you? You've been here before. But how is post-editing of Axanar? It's going great. We're going to talk about that in the middle. CJ, you're new here. How are you, CJ? It's lovely to have you. Thank you so much. Torben Medding. I don't remember that name. Torben, how are you? Eric from the wild state of Colorado. Hopefully you're not in Lauren Boebert district, but I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Of course, Claude is here. Claude, how are you doing? Our good friend, our costume consultant. How are you? Dustin D, we're going to talk about this as well. Let's talk about that after. Josh says, game equals happiness. Happiness is a good life. Football is life. If you're a Ted Lasso fan, as I am, I'm a big fan of his. So I love. If have you seen Ted Lasso, Alexander?
Nope.
Oh my God!
I've heard of him, but never.
How can you not have seen Ted Lasso? Have you seen Welcome to Wrexham? Dude, you're not a football fan, are you? You're
nope.
just a sad geek. I'm sorry.
I mean, football football as an actual football, or the American hand egg?
Football, real football.
No, so the American rugby for pussies, because they wear helmets and
I know that.
Gear.
Yeah, no, real football, not American football, English football.
Real, so proper
world
football.
Football. FUTBOL.
No.
Football is life.
Listen, first of all,
to
to quote Guy Martin, it's not that I hate football. It's just I find watching 22 millionaires running around after a ball full of air a waste of my time.
Well, you have to watch Ted Lasso. I'm just telling you, it is my all-time favorite television show.
Never heard of it.
Best.
Well, actually, no. I've heard Ted Lasso. I've heard
of
it, but I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what it's about.
I'm sorry, dude. You're not welcome back on this podcast, on this live stream until you watch Ted Lasso. There's Paul. Paul recently retired. Paul, who has nothing to do with his life. He has no meaning in his life anymore. We're hopefully waiting for him to figure out what he wants to do with his life when he grows up. But Paul, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Paul is one of our key volunteers at the studio. Das Box Mom, how are you? He says hello from Central Illinois. And there he is, Nemesis of Eden, the creator of Warhammer and sex toys, our new motto. He's the man. Nemesis, it's good to see you. I still owe you. I just started working through all the back orders, so I am going to get to you. CJ is from Northeast Pennsylvania. You have been here before. Thank you. Yeah, really, I don't remember your name, CJ. But anyway, let's see. Dustin D. One thing that might be interesting is Warner. Oh, okay. So let's get. It is, first of all, we know Paramount is for sale. That we know that for a fact. Sherry Redstone, the owner of the overall company, that major stockholder, right? She inherited it when Sumner passed. She has said she wants to sell it. They're shopping it around. Warner Brothers says they're out, although the rumor is that they're interested in Star Trek. Although I find it hard to believe that they would sell. They might sell the Star Trek IP, because obviously then if you sell your Star Trek IP, let's say they sell it for $1 billion. Well, that's $1 billion less you're getting for the company, right? And it also devalues the property itself, because Star Trek then is no longer available for Paramount Plus. It's going to Warner Brothers. So anyway,
does anybody use Paramount Plus?
Yeah.
apart from when new Star Trek is on.
I do, and but the problem is, someone said, Facebook user, you have to authorize StreamYard to use your name, otherwise you just appear as Facebook user here. There's a stir. It says free money's great. Love being a pensioner. I would love to know what that's like. So is Star Trek. Star Trek will be sold if Paramount is sold, obviously, as part of Paramount, or maybe they do a separate deal with Warner Brothers. That's possible. If you're Warner Brothers, that's a smart move. Despite the ups and downs of, and what we can talk about Star Trek, having another major. Now listen, it ain't Law and Order and it ain't NCIS, but it is a TV franchise. That's it would be interesting to dig into those numbers to see how much they spent and what kind of return they're getting on them.
Are they still making Law and Order?
Oh, fudge, yeah. They'll be making. Yeah. They just brought it back. As a matter of fact, they brought the original Law and Order back.
All right.
Yeah, it is. What a great show. So now Byron Allen, the comedian, who's, I guess he's co-owner of BET Back Entertainment Channel, something. He's put in an offer. I know Skydance is interested. It's possible that, and it's also possible they split that up. Skydance may take Paramount, and Byron Allen may take CBS, meaning they want the TV asset. Byron wants the TV assets. Skydance wants the movie assets. They separate that out. It didn't make sense for Warner Brothers just because of the huge Paramount studio lot. Warner Brothers has the biggest lot in Hollywood, bigger than Paramount. So it didn't make sense to have two of those. So we'll see what happens.
You could have bet that if Warner Brothers had bought Paramount, that the Paramount lot would get axed.
Yeah,
raised and made into luxury condos or something. I'm about to have a cat jump up in front of me.
Yeah. Well, if Paramount is way more than Star Trek. I mean, Paramount has
They've
other
got Halo.
they got Halo, they got Top Gun, they've got Transformers, they've got Mission Impossible. They have other things, but nothing's as those. The problem with Star Trek is it can't generate money as a movie. And
unless it's a really good movie. And
I just saw another thing. So Trevor Roth from Roddenberry Entertainment was like, "Oh yeah, they're making Star Trek 4." Listen, if they cannot, first of all, it ain't going to be Bad Robot, and Kurtzman's got the TV rights, not the movie rights. Who's going to make it? And they've already proven that Star Trek can't make more than $400-something million. That JJ movies never made over 400 and change. They all lost money, and when you can't make a Star Trek movie for $190 million like Star Trek Beyond was. You can't. It's not possible because $190 million. That's the budget, the production budget. Add another $100 million on that for marketing. You're at 280. And rule of thumb in Hollywood, you got to double to break even. 280. So that's 280 is 510, 560, 560, right? 560. So you have to make $560 million to break even. Well, not Star Trek movies. The 3 J.J. movies never broke 500 million. So they all lost money.
What you need is lower budget movies.
They have to make lower budget movies.
Get Frakes back in the Frakes and Cole back into the fray. They made a fantastic set of movies.
That's not going to solve it. Frakes is a director. He doesn't control the budget.
No. That's what I mean. No, you get the old crew.
Know how to make a movie for $100 million, $125.
That's what I mean. You get the old crew together that Frakes worked with, because they made First Contact for.
Well, also you're talking
30 million.
Yeah. Well, also they made it 25 years ago, 30 years ago. First Contact's almost 30 years old now. That was 90s. I mean, right? It's crazy to think it's that old. So it was a different time. But I remember going to see it. I mean, this is what the guy, the guy who won one of the guys who won the Academy Award was telling Hollywood: stop making $200 million movies and make $10 million movies. Yeah, and Star Trek doesn't need to be $190 million. $190 million, you get Star Trek Beyond, which had so many worthless VFX that just, it's not. And Star Trek is not an action movie franchise. So,
no, it's not. It's not.
So just get used to it.
And anyway, what I was trying to say there is, of course, you couldn't make a Star Trek movie for 30 million these days, but back then, 30 million was actually quite a lot of money for a Star Trek project. There you go. And they made a lot of money. So if you give it a similar budget today, obviously with today's costs involved, it could work.
Jason asked, the Oscars were great. We had a good time. I'm doing I just got a video from that's going to be up on the Axanar website about the Oscars. So we went out. Crystal and I went out to the Oscars. We went out not to the Oscars. We went to an Oscar party that was at the Hilton Universal. So right around the corner from the where the Oscars were. But it was we were invited. We were invited by Goodney, who's one of our mega donors. His wife is a fashion designer, so they did a whole fashion production for this event, and there was a little fashion show, like a 10-minute fashion show, and she basically custom outfitted every one of the Goodney's guests. So there were like a dozen guests, maybe more, and we all got custom clothing. So if you've seen the photos, you'll see the video. We're about to post the video that they did, because they have a production company in Japan that and they do a production called Backstage Pass. It's up on BuzzFeed right now in Japan. So so Crystal and I got, full custom clothing. Mine is something like, you would never see me wearing this. Like, it's not like I would go in the store and buy this. It was definitely a little more flamboyant than I was used to, but it was beautiful, and it was I mean, it's amazing because she had me send like a sample of clothes that fit me, pants and suit jacket that fit me. Then she sent a sample over, like done in temporary cloth, which fit perfectly. So when I got there, my suit fit perfectly, and I had a beautiful silk shirt, and they had me wearing a white ascot, which was wild, but it was. And Crystal looked phenomenal, and they had her just because she's blonde, and everyone else in the fashion show was Asian, right? Mostly Japanese, and so Crystal was like the Marilyn. They had her made up as Marilyn Monroe, and so it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a beautiful vacation for us because we did nothing for 4 days basically. Goodney treated us like royalty. He's a wonderful guy. We met Dan, who's his right hand in Japan, which is leading to some things in Japan happening. So fantastic. You'll see the photos, you'll see the video. A lot of fun. So thank you for asking about that. And the Oscars, I don't know if you watch the Oscars. It was a really good Oscar show. John Cena stole the show. His little thing was fantastic. Crystal and I were laughing our asses off from the moment that skit started. You knew what was happening, but they went so far with it. And John Cena was just Crystal's take is, oh, let's see The Rock beat that, right? So he was wonderful. The event was great. I thought Jimmy Kimmel did a wonderful job hosting it. And yeah, top to bottom, I thought it was an amazing Oscar. So, and then we went the next day on Monday, we went to the Academy Museum, which was wonderful, and sort of the exhibits there. They did a big John Waters retrospective, which Crystal's a fan of John Waters. Crystal's a fan of John Waters, and his movies and all. Honestly, I've never seen a John Waters movie, but I love John Waters because he is John Waters is a character. If you've ever, he is like one of the best guests on a talk show. You put him on Jimmy Kimmel or Fallon or any of those, he's amazing. And as much as it's crazy that I'm not a fan of his movies, it's just not my thing. But I'm a huge fan of his. So we got to see that. Academy Museum is crazy great. So it was a wonderful time. So thanks for asking. Justin, I think Star Trek survives on a $125 million budget. That's where I think it is. The problem is a studio like Paramount, they layer on so much bullshit onto and all studios, not just Paramount, right? This is the Hollywood industry. You have all these producers making millions of dollars who do nothing, right? And so all of a sudden, and then look, I would love to see the budget of Star Trek Beyond. I'm sure 60% of the budget was VFX, and the problem is you got whoever, and all hail J.J. Abrams and Justin Lin, my two favorite people in Hollywood, just because they supported us during the lawsuit. I think JJ is a brilliant visual storyteller, but I don't think his movies, necessarily the Star Trek movies, I think they're a very different thing than us Star Trek fans are used to. Justin Lin, who did Fast and Furious, I don't even know which numbers he did, but is an amazing director himself. But, we don't need those Star Treks. That's not what we need. So anyway, so I think we all agree on this basically. Jason, I've got to talk to you. Oh my gosh, Josh, you're just going off this morning. Tom Black. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me tell you about Tom Black. Tom Black is the head volleyball coach at the University of Georgia, which is 20 minutes away from us. And here's the great story about Tom Black. He's a budding science fiction writer. He's been over the studio. I love Tom. He's an amazing person, great family guy, and big sci-fi fan. So Tom he's written a script for a comedy, like a Star Trek comedy, like a short film that we're definitely going to produce. And so Tom, I know Tom because I got introduced to him years ago, about 5 years ago. Someone said, "Oh, Tom Black University." So I sent him an email, and Tom says, "Hey, Alec, you don't remember me, but you recruited me at USC." Now, for everyone who's new here, maybe I used to be a professional volleyball coach, 88 to 92, back in the dark ages. I coached volleyball at USC. I was the assistant men's volleyball coach at USC, coached with the U.S. national team, with the women under Terry Liskevich and the men under Bill Neville. I volunteer. But anyway, I guess Tom was, in 1989, I coached a USA junior volleyball team, U.S. Junior Olympics. It was called the U.S. Junior. The national championships are called back then were called the Junior Olympics, and my team won the national championship for our age group. Tom was on the team underneath, so I was coaching I guess it was 17 and unders. Then was the top group. He was on the 16 and unders, and I didn't know. I don't remember that, but Tom does, and so we reminisce about what a great team that was and all. So, and I guess we recruited Tom to USC, or he wanted to go to USC and we didn't recruit him. Whatever. He came for a trip. Anyway, so love Tom Black, one of my favorite people. So it's so awesome that he comes out here and says hi. That is greatly appreciated. Let's see. Hold on one second. No. Stop that. All right. So much obliged, Tom. There's Brian Simpson. Hail, Brian. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. Facebook user, you need to authorize StreamYard so who you are shows up here instead of Facebook user. There's Don Abros, my good friend from San Diego. How are you? No, I don't think so. Listen, no, I don't think there's a double standard. John Cena did a comedy sketch. It was funny as hell, right? And the women, listen, the women love the whole red carpet thing and getting dressed up and everything, just like some of the men, including myself, do. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And again, another thing, like, let's not look. Let's not go too hard on all of that stuff. No one was being, minimized or objectified. Yeah, agree there. Oh, absolutely. Doesn't he? Like John Waters. Top 10 list of people you want to have a beer with. John Waters, right? Right? Don't you think that, like, he would just be hysterical? Like, yes. Okay. So, there's Brian Lambert. How are you, Brian? And there's Scott Voigt, our good friend from Texas. How are you? Scott, who's at almost every one of our shoots, missed the last one because I believe it was your anniversary, right, Scott? Happy anniversary. Scott's one of our mainstays. So, listen, I could have worn the Lord Garth costume and no one would have said anything.
Can you imagine how the group that shall not be named would have freaked at that?
Oh yeah, I know that is terrible. By the way, Alexander, I have you as muted here. Okay,
I mute myself because there's some noise going outside, so I mute myself when I'm not talking.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, How's the little one, by the way? By the way, everyone, Alexander's had a son. Well, his wife, his significant other, had a baby about 2 months ago. How is the little one doing?
He is now 5 pounds 3 ounces.
Wow.
So that's 5 times his weight, basically, when he popped out.
Wow, that's great.
And he's at home now. He's out of the hospital after 82 days.
Fantastic.
And doing well.
That's great to hear. We're so happy. 45th wedding anniversary. Scott is a man among men. Yeah, listen up. We're sad you weren't there because the shoot was amazing. And I can't listen, let's talk real quick about the shoot because Axanar is wrapped. As I've told everyone, Axanar is wrapped. We are in post-production. We are working on visual effects right now, working on the first trailer right now. There's a special trailer that's going to be coming out in probably about 6 weeks. Wow, I just, so much is happening. I've got a ton of work that I'm doing. So yeah, so everything's going really, really well. Unfortunately, I do share things. Scott Voy will be one of them who I'll share things with. Photos. The Klingon that we shot in last month he will be the star of of Axanar. And here's the thing: we shot 2 actors, both fantastic, both look great. One was Sonia Alexander, the other was Moreau the Klingon. You will be wildly happy with both of them. And as we were talking, I've been saying this to everyone, but I was with Dale Simpson yesterday, and Dale and I were talking about it. Dale and I had breakfast, and I said, "Look, we have 19 actors in Axanar, 6 of whom, like Prelude, 6 of whom you've seen before, you've heard. You've heard of. They're stars, quote unquote stars. And then of the other dozen that make up Axanar, it'll take me out for a second. Of the other dozen, they're all small time. I say small time. They're not big Hollywood names, right? They're actors, part-time actors, work in Atlanta. Every one of those dozen is great in Axanar. I mean, we go down the list because we have the assembly already, and and Alexander can vouch for this because he's seen the assembly. You look at the guy? There's one guy who has one scene, and he's a character that you know of. If you're a good Star Trek fan, you know of him. One scene, knocks fantastic. We have our engineer Leonov, Jamie Rindell. Amazing. Vince Canlis as Tanaka, Rob Pralgo as April, Tina Aria as the Vulcan Captain Arev. Oh, she's amazing. She's amazing. So we have all these amazing actors. So it's not just like Prelude where we had 6 actors, me and 5 professional actors, right? This time we have 19 actors, me and 18 other actors, 6 of who you've heard of before and you will love and you will be blown away. It's very similar to Prelude. Like in Prelude was, you had Richard, and you had Richard as Karn, and you had Tony Todd as Ramirez. And then like a step below that, and only a little step, you had Kate Vernon as Sonia, you had J.G. Hertzler as Travis, and then you had Gary Graham as Saval. And Gary Graham was like the foundation of Prelude. Like all Prelude was built on Gary's performance as Saval, his character and his performance, right? Because he's the thread that ties it all together into Enterprise, right? And then you had this amazing new Klingon and this amazing new Starfleet Admiral, and then you had these 2 great captains. So that was the structure of Prelude. Well, in the next 2 episodes that you're going to see, You have this other amazing Klingon who's going to steal the show. And then you have this other amazing captain you have not seen before, who's shockingly good. And then you have Travis and Alexander. And then you have Tina as a Rev, the Vulcan captain. And then you have our Andorians. The new Andorian admiral who takes the place is shockingly good. He's so damn good. And he is, I've mentioned he's Steve Einat's nephew. So he came.
Kind of poetic.
Oh yeah. And he shocked everyone. He shows up and they were running late for the day. Mark tells the story how they were running late. The day was going to be like the first day that we've run way over. And they set up, his name is Steve McCaj, is the actor. They set him up and they're doing everything. And they're like, oh God, we're going to be going till like 10 at night. Right. So he sits down, they light him, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and they're like, okay, we're ready. And he's like, can I just run through all of my lines? And Ted's like all of them? He's like, yeah. Let me just run through them once. So he starts and runs through every single line he has. And everyone there is like, holy shit. He was so freaking good. Mark says you could have cut and wrapped and you were done. And they went a couple more times just because he was so great. And I was unfortunately not there for that performance, but I watch it and I'm like, holy shit, he's good. So anyway, there's Mark Lewis now. Mark, if I knew you were here, I would have had you tell that story. I'm going to send Mark an invite. Let's see if Mark's between clients, maybe he can stop by. And I'm sorry, I feel bad telling that story with let me see, where are
I'm sure Mark has other stories he can tell.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I got a couple messages. Hey, Mark, I just sent you a link. So if you want to join us, please do. Maybe you may be able, you may not be able to, but I should have let Mark tell us, because he was there, so he can tell it best. Mine was just hearsay. Let's see. Thank you so much. Yeah. He's outside. Mark, how are you?
Hey, yeah, I'm just here taking care of some of my neighbor's chickens because I love chickens. Hi, girls. And yeah, they're all liars. But I was like watching as I was driving. I'm like, I love that story so much because it's so true. You told it perfectly though. It was great.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
good. I was just listened to the podcast you and I did again for this. I think that's the third time I've listened to that podcast.
Amazing.
And, you told that story. I was like, okay, I got to tell everyone. So, well, good.
Well, and he's not the only actor who kind of pulled that off in that when we were late, because one of the other actors did a really great job of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is we just had such great people.
Yeah, it's true.
Doing such great work. There's Paul saying, yeah. Yes, I mean it's going to be great. We're really excited about it. How is your now? Mark is producing an Axanar short film in the Icarus Maneuver. How's that going? I know Dana keeps talking about the sound design.
Well, he's actually finishing up the last couple of visual effects shots. That's all that's left, really. The mix is done, except for a couple little things. So we'll. Probably the next couple of days, he'll finish up a couple of little things we need to fix, and then the final mix will be done for the surround sound, which is for theaters, because it'll go to a couple festivals and things like that. And then I'll do for lack of a better term, the hip hop mix that we did for Prelude. So it'll be loud and proud on the internet, which is where it'll live most of the time. But yeah, we'll definitely hit March 31st.
Good. All right. Well, we're excited. We're excited to see what you see. I mean, I obviously have seen a rough cut, and it's gotten better and better. So, that I'm excited. Can't wait to see it. Josh is coming down to film April 6th and 7th. We set the weekend for him to come down to shoot. So real excited about that. I'm excited to work with Josh. I mean, we've had our team. Josh is going to be. There's clearly chickens there.
Yeah, there's about 15 of them here. I got to go feed them. But anyway, I just thought I'd pop in. Thanks. And
thanks, Mark. It's great seeing you, dude.
You too. Bye for now.
Take care. And that's Mark Edward Lewis, who is our editor, post-production supervisor, and is doing the Icarus Maneuvers Axanar fan film, which will be the third fan film about Axanar. Michelle Evans, how are you? Okay, so I have to, as is customary, I do need to, because there's so many of you new. Here's Michelle Evans' book, The X-15 Rocket Plane. You can get it on Amazon. I should give you all a link. I'll give you a link because I can probably round up a referral link. If you are a fan of the American space program, this is the first book you got to get, because the X-15 is like the predecessor to, and it sits on my bookshelf. And Michelle here, who's an Axanar fan, who eventually we got to get you on the show, Michelle. That is Michelle's book. By the way, the other book that you show, on the other hand, get the big book of Barry Ween, Boy Genius, by the amazing comic book author Judd Winick. This is the funniest thing you will ever read. I swear, it is the funniest comic book in the world. It's a graphic novel, right? So it is hysterical. So that's that, and then I'll just tell you, since we're out there, The Making of Blade Runner, greatest science fiction movie of all time. So you definitely need to do that, and then of course, The Making of Tombstone, which is an amazing story of filmmaking. There's so many great filmmakers out there, and so many great filmmaking stories, and it's important to understand them, because there's a great filmmaking story that is Axanar, right? It's this 10-year story about how we're going to get this thing made. Nemesis, give me a minute. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to send out an email to everyone. I'll grab the link. And I'll send out an email to everyone with the book, so you can get it through our affiliate link. Definitely read it, because it's just fantastic. And Michelle's story about meeting Neil Armstrong, amazing. Yes, listen, no question about it. Losing Richard and losing Gary, just, there you go. Take care, whoever you are. Let's see. No, Garth does not play piano. He does listen to American music, though. There was a great scene that I wrote. I wrote a scene back when I was on good terms with James Cawley, when he wasn't being an asshole to me. I wrote a scene that was a kind of a little funny nacho, and it takes place during the Heroes vignette, which Josh is going to finish and is going to be released, he tells me. But and in it, Garth's in his quarters. So this is the scene that the Enterprise goes back 6 months later. Enterprise goes back to Elba 2 and picks up Garth to bring him back to Starfleet. Right, he's been fully cured at this point. Garth comes on the Enterprise, still a little shaky, let's just say. Fully cured, but not quite himself. And he comes on, and the story of Heroes is basically, here's Kirk's hero, and how do the two of them react? But anyway, at one point, Kirk goes to stop by Garth's quarters. And Garth is listening to American music, right? And at first I was like, oh, he's listening to something. He's listening to like jazz, or he's listening to, and I thought, well, that was a little overused. And I said, what he needs to be listening to is Aaron Copland. That's great American music. And I'm a big fan of Hoedown. the Copeland piece, which you all know probably. If you're American and you're old, you know as the Beef song. But I'm like, oh, and it's just this amazing orchestra. Hoedown is just this classic American music, right? And so I'm like, oh yeah, so Garth's listening to that, and Kirk comes into his and Kirk doesn't know anything, and Kirk says something like, "Is that Gershwin?" And Garth's like, "No, that's Copeland." And Garth says, "We, on Izar, we were a colony. We didn't have our own music. So we listened to Earth music." And Garth says, so he goes, "Copeland was one of my favorites." He says, "How about you?" And he goes, who do you like? And Kirk's like, "I tend towards the American classics like Elvis," right? And that's like the end of the scene, right? But it was meant. Listen, it was meant to be an homage to James Cawley because, before he started being an asshole to me, we were on good terms. And so anyway, that was the piece. So that's kind of part of how I envision Garth's backstory, because it's always important to do that. To envision, if you're going to play an actor, you really need to understand them and who they are. No, there will not be a music video. Let's see. I am looking through your comments right now. Let's see. Michelle, we're getting back on part of the problem over the past year is we've totally minimized live streams. And now that Jefferson Kelly, who's just amazing, is becoming our YouTube producer, he is like really focused and it's going to take a lot of the work off my plate. So there you go. Yes, it really has. It really has. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, very cool. I don't know this. I don't know this, Michelle. Well, listen. So technically, we can't do a sequel. Technically, and realistically, Axanar is the story of the Battle of Axanar. So once that battle's over, once that story is told, then we're kind of done, right? Now, are there stories about Garth that can be told? Sure. I mean, let's face it, the story of Garth's fall is another story that you could tell. Which I think that's a little big for a fan film. But I do like the idea of telling stories about once Garth comes back. So taking heroes, finishing heroes, and then telling stories about, okay, once Garth's back in Starfleet. And so I do, and I actually plotted out a story of at least one episode that happens with Garth and afterwards. So yeah, there's always, as Spock says, there are always possibilities, right? Alexander, by the way, what are you working on right now for Axanar? Anything you can tell us?
I think I need to finish those deck plans.
Excuse me, guys. I'm drinking my Aspire, which is like lightweight. It's like
not a sponsor, by the way.
Not a sponsor. No, we have no sponsors. Aspire is like the big thing here now on energy drinks is Celsius is the big one right now, because it's like most all natural and it doesn't have all the crap that Red Bull has, right? Or all the no sugar. That's the big one. Aspire is even healthier than Celsius. I drink Celsius, but Celsius has like 200 milligrams of caffeine, and Aspire only has like 80. So like if you don't really need all the energy, that's fine. Anyway, but yeah, so you're doing deck plans for the Daedalus class, right?
Oh well, yeah. There's a patch for that, and I'm going to be converting my MSD to Ares style for that.
That's awesome.
But the deck plans for the Geronimo class, remember? That's highly sought
Oh
after.
yes, we got to
apparently.
finish those. Yeah. No, we do not get any Klingon opera. Sorry. Yeah. No, I do remember that in one of the Star Trek novels they referenced Devo as being a classic. I'm like, wow, how times have changed. Yeah, that's the question, Dustin, isn't it? What does Garth do once he returns to Starfleet? I don't know. It's a good question.
That would be an interesting scene, having a bunch of brass.
I don't think he.
Squabbling over him. I don't
know. I don't think necessarily. I think that's the perfect time he gets elevated to an admiral. Right?
Indeed, I'd love to see I think it would be an interesting scene. Admirals squabbling over what to do with him.
Yeah, no,
someone will stick him in the academy. The other one saying, right. "No, give him a ship," and the other one saying, "No, cast him out."
Boy, you're really putting him out to pasture, aren't you, KZ? Making him play pickleball.
Personally, I'd say Starfleet Academy would probably be where he should end up.
Yeah. Red Tiller, how are you? Red Tiller's back. Richard Roberts, how are you? We got this is for noon to have over 50 people on our noon live stream is awesome. So thank you so much. Jason says maybe an ambassadorship. Yeah, Jason, that's possible. It's so funny. I just got a text message from Rob Pralgo. My sweet new puppy ate my Star Trek hat. Can you have any others lying around?
Firstly, ask him, how did the puppy get to the hat? Did you leave it on the ground? You shouldn't leave a Star Trek cap on the ground. The Star Trek caps, like the flag, the American flag anyway, should never touch the ground.
I'm sending him a message. Brian Dedamore says sent me a message. Brian, I'm guessing that you're one of the Facebook users here. When you appear like this means you have not authorized, whoever this is, you have not authorized StreamYard to access your information from Facebook. So you need to do that in order to appear with your name, not Facebook user, right? There you go. So yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting things you could do with Garth, but the things I've got beat it out now after we finish Axanar that I want there. I've got 3 little projects that I would love to get done. Well, Heroes is something Josh is doing. He's taking the footage that we shot back in 2015, and he's going to finish Heroes. That's exciting. That actually has a scene that needs to be shot, which we're talking about. So that's an option. And then we've been talking. Josh has talked about using me as Garth in a project. I've talked about. God, I would love to do Garth with Mason, his Captain Mason character. Tyler Donovan does, who's really awesome. Love to do something together with those guys. But yeah, and I'd love to tell the story. I'd love to tell the story of Garth going back to Starfleet at the end of Heroes. So yeah, there's lots of stuff we could do. Listen, I'm not getting any younger, so definitely got to advance the timeline a little. Interestingly, it's interesting also that I think Garth could have a lot longer longevity just because of what he's been through, right? The whole cellular metamorphosis stuff. So I would love to see Garth in a Monster Maroon.
That would be cool.
Right? That's something I want to see. So
that would be cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Steven says, as Carmen would say, you cannot appreciate Jan and Dean until you've heard it in the original Klingon. Touche, Steven. That's the line of the day here. Garth would probably end up in Orville. As you know, we're doing an Orville fan film, something we're very excited about. That's kind of like the next big project we're doing is doing an Orville fan film, which we will keep you guys abreast on how that goes, because we've already spoken to the powers that be at the Orville Hood, and let's just say that if they're Axanar fans, we're gonna have a much different. Z-Man Porsche is Axanar. Z-Man, you need to stay up to date. Listen, everyone. By the way, let me send it. We need you all of you should sign up for the Axanar newsletter down there, right? That's the most important thing you do. If you sign up for that newsletter, you're on the email list, you get all the emails and everything. You'll find out about everything. Okay. So make sure you do that. And then Z-Man, we have wrap production. So all the live action is finished. By the way, which means 19 actors in the can, done. We're in post-production, which is great because my group loves to send me stuff, and all the haters are now backtracking and backpedaling, and they're all like, "Oh well, okay, says he's wrapped, if that's true, Axanar may actually get finished." But they're all kind of backpedaling because these are the idiots who said, "Oh, Axanar's never going to be finished. Oh, it's all a scam. It's all Alec grifting money." Well, clearly not, dumbasses. So, a matter of fact, we have an award for all the haters, and here it is. my favorite award.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, right. You did it, man. So, but I got like 20 screen caps the other day from someone sent me from the haters group, and they're like, "Look at this. They're all backtracking." I say, "Give me the bottom line," because I don't read it. I try not to read their shit. They're right. I never go to their hate group, and I rarely ever read anything from them because I don't give a shit about them, right? But people send it to me all the time, and so my team sent me and I'm like, "Can you paraphrase it?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, they're all backtracking. They're all, Although what pisses me off is they're so fucking stupid. It's like the whole narrative has been Axanar's a grift, right? That's that like I stole all this money. Like I wouldn't be working on this for 10 years. If I had stolen your money, I would have done it 8 years ago. If there was any money left to steal, right? There's no money left to steal. We spent it all.
Yeah, your the accusation that you embezzled $1.2, $1.4, $1.6 million, it changes every weekend. Doesn't hold true, because if you'd embezzled that amount of money, you wouldn't be sitting there with an Axanar cap on.
Yeah.
On an Axanar live stream. You would have headed off to the Bahamas somewhere, or somewhere with no extradition, earning 20% on a beach.
Yes, I know.
It doesn't hold to the first question. What did you do with the money?
Well, and the funny thing is, what did we do? Did you follow back in 2015 and 16 when we were building everything? Did you follow that we rented a studio, that we built sets? As a matter of fact, I had to pull down all the. I went through my personal photos and pulled down every single construction photograph, every single photograph of us building those sets. I pulled down and put in a folder and uploaded it to Google Drive, because Jefferson is putting together a video, mostly with Dana, where we talked about building these, the process of building the sets and the studio of that bridge set specifically. And I was like, and then I saw the framing of the transporter room, and I was like, oh man, I miss that. It sucks that we had to destroy that set. I mean, that would have been so fucking cool if we had that. So, this is one of the things that, as we talk about when we talk about building a new studio. That's one of the things. And listen, by the way, I need to take time every stream and thank Dave Lanyon, who's really the savior of Axanar, and Goodney Goodnison, his business partner, who have been funding this to its completion, and it's awesome. And Dave, by the way, one of the things here is that you should all follow our YouTube channel, and specifically, I've been putting together. I changed the YouTube channel. I'm gonna let me just show you how we're doing it here. I'm gonna put it on screen share here to show you. But you'll see here, this is our YouTube channel, right? So if you go to our YouTube channel, go to here, just to Axanar, right? What we do is, and you can see it's presenting our live stream right now, but right here, the first playlist here is Axanar updates, and you should all follow that because that's all the good information, right? Where the live streams are a little casual. Here we have our podcasts, which are done as a video as well. We've got, matter of fact, the thing that's not in here is Dave's live stream, so I need to add it in there. But important live streams are in there, and all the information you need to be up to date on what's happening on Axanar. So when Mark releases the Icarus maneuver, we'll talk about that. We'll have a live stream. We'll do an update. We'll do a podcast and everything. So these are the things we're doing. And we listen, you can go down after the updates. You'll see there's everything about Prelude to Axanar. Here's the trailers, some shorts. Here's everything in this Axanar expanded universe, right? Prelude to Axanar, Interlude, they're all here. So anything that's the Axanar universe is here. Then down here is Axanar Confidential. You see all our best live streams here. Here's the Dave Lanyon one. It's really worth watching to learn about Dave, right? And just all of our live streams in general, and then other projects we do, including Squadron, which I just watched again, which is amazing. So there you go, guys. That's how you stay in touch. Make sure you ring the bell icon, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell icon. Please like this video. If you haven't liked this video already, why the hell not? Come on, guys. Well, please like the video. We're always let me go to our channel.
None were converted to Constitution class. The Ares and Constitution are two completely different starships.
Yep. Yeah.
Although you could not to be too arrogant or too hoo-ha about it, but you could say maybe the Constitution was built using lessons learned from the Ares, maybe, seeing that the Ares came first.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're not arrogant to say that this is canon, but in the Ares, in the Axanar universe, that's what's happened.
Yeah, exactly.
They turn around and say, we like that, now make it bigger and put a bowling alley in it.
Hey, we just had to post this. Warhammer 6 toys, baby. We're making T-shirts of that. Just so you know, Nemesis, we're making T-shirts. Z-Man, yes, there are Axanar coffee mugs. So complicated. I am not selling any Axanar related merchandise just because of CBS. But the Axanar fan group there's a group of people who have taken over all of that stuff from the studio, and that they're on their way to getting a store up. And as soon as it is, we'll let you know. Okay. So, but yeah, that's it. And there's also, believe me, for Axanar Summer, I think they have plans to do a lot of cool stuff. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, we try. I mean, it was so funny seeing Crystal in the makeup chair. She was in the makeup chair for almost 2 hours, getting made up, getting her hair done and everything. And they totally did the whole Marilyn Monroe look on her. Is this the group Star Trek Ships? I think I'm a member there, Odin Sun, aren't I? Correct? Yeah, I believe so. I love that. I love all that stuff. I'm sure
I lurk on there as well.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that. That's an interesting question. Yes, I know, right? Believe me, if I had taken all the money, I would be in Costa Rica, I guess.
Definitely. You still wouldn't be trying to, sitting here making Axanar.
Yeah, exactly.
The logic does not hold up.
Yeah.
The logic of their argument, I mean.
Well, it goes from I was making a fan film to it took 10 years to make this fan film. And so the story is that much better. So when it comes out, it's like a big FU to all the haters. Like, not only were you wrong, but I'm a way better man than you people are, person than you people are.
Yeah, I'll go out on a limb to say that as well.
I'm willing to sacrifice everything for my passions here and to get Axanar done. What have you been doing? I mean, what have the haters been doing in the last 10 years? Nothing.
Sniffing up your butt. Looking for crap to spread all over the walls.
Yeah, the way Nemesis, the way it's going to be is, and there's some stuff that'll be on. I'm creating a store as well, but it's like not Axanar stuff. However, Warhammer Sex Toys is going to be on my store. It's going to be the feature item on my store, and you'll be able to get it in any size and any color T-shirt. So stay tuned. Hopefully next week. All right. So stay tuned. That there are Axanar DVDs as well as Axanar Blu-rays, prelude to Axanar, right? Which the Axanar fan group will be handling. Once again, I will not be handling that stuff. However, they will be available. Yeah, listen, we as Star Trek fans have headcanon, right? What we want and like for me, like there's all this great work that came out in the 90s, fan work, blueprints. The Belknap class is like one of my favorite, the Ascension class. I love that stuff. All that post TMP stuff that came out, and that's part of my headcanon. It's not Star Trek canon. But hey, listen, I also, I don't give a shit what Alex Kurtzman says. All respect to Alex Kurtzman, my friend. I don't give a shit what you say. Discovery is not prime timeline. It's an alternate universe. All right. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if you had just said that from the beginning, you would have earned so much more respect from fans. Right. And this is my problem with what they did. Right. You shit on Axanar, not Kurtzman, right? Paramount shits on Axanar. I don't know if they're going to consider that me disparaging them. You sued Axanar, and you pissed off a lot of fans. These are facts. What you should have done, and what you did was you came out with Discovery and stole a bunch of ideas from Axanar. Fine, right? No problem. I have no problem with that. But what was your idea? Oh, let's make Rod Roddenberry an executive producer. That'll bring us fans. Listen, there's all respect to Rod Roddenberry, who I love. Great guy, great wife, right? No one gives a shit about Rod Roddenberry being executive producer on Star Trek, right? If you had, rather than suing Axanar, if you had said, look, guys, we need you to change this. We're coming out with Star Trek. We don't want to step on you. We need you to do the following. We would have done it, but CBS and Paramount didn't do that. They just shit on us instead and sued us. So what happened was you created animosity among fans. So when Discovery came out and everyone was like, what the blank is this, right? Rather, this is one of the things. You didn't have that person like me in the background saying, or like Robert Orsi did for J.J. Abrams. What did Robert Orsi tell J.J. Abrams? Make it an alternate universe. And that's exactly what they wrote into the Star Trek 2009 script. And what did all of us fans say? Okay, cool. We can live with that. It's an alternate universe. We don't care that James Kirk is an asshole as a kid. Whatever, right? It worked because we can. Now it's not, is this canon? Now we're saying, do we like the alternate universe or not? And some people do and some people don't. I'm one of those people like, yeah, great. It's an alternate universe. The more Star Trek, the better. But what Kurtzman did is try to ram down our throat that this is canon. And we're all real. Listen, have more respect for Star Trek fans. Again, I'm not trying to ding on Kurtzman because He's a filmmaker, and I'm not generally gonna ding on other filmmakers, right? It's called professional courtesy, Rob Burnett. Maybe you should learn that. I'm just gonna say, look, here's Discovery. If you had just said this is an alternate universe, we would all have said, cool. We like it or we don't like it, right? All right, the first season Klingons were an absolute disaster. We like it or we don't like it, right? But you're trying to tell us this is part of our canon. And you and me and everyone, we all have our Star Trek canon, right? Besides the head canon, there is Prime Universe. Everything from, and due respect, from Enterprise on up through Voyager is the Prime Universe. Does it fit in there or not, right? And clearly Discovery did not fit in there. A visual updating. You can't do that. You can't do a visual updating. That is just you either do what we did and fit into the universe, or you don't. So my whole point is that have respect for the Star Trek fans, because there's a whole group of us who have lived through this since Star Trek: The Next Generation, or in my case, and others who are old people, Star Trek: The Original Series, right? Have respect for us, fit into our canon, and you will get the benefits of that. Just like Axanar gets the benefits, because all the work Alexander and Tobias and we all did to make sure that Axanar looks like it belongs in the Star Trek Prime Universe timeline, right? So there's my little soapbox. I have my own headcanon. Everyone does. And listen, I love Strange New Worlds. It's just not part of the prime timeline. No, it may be in a different way of storytelling. It would be. And I don't expect Kurtzman to do what we do as far as trying to fit in, right? Like they want Star Trek New Voyages to look like a show that appeals to fans that have never been Star Trek fans before. And let's face it, Star Trek TOS looks dated, right? We love it. But, it is an almost 60-year-old vision of the future.
Yeah, you couldn't have a new production with the exact same style on an official large scale like what they do with Discovery and whatnot. It just wouldn't work. No one would watch it. Some diehard fans would, but other people would say, right, what is this hokey piece of crap, and switch over onto something else. So visual update, I don't have a problem with. They should have done what they've now done with Discovery and have them way off in the future. They've got carte blanche. They could do anything they wanted.
Yeah,
and indeed,
I agree.
Indeed they are doing anything they want, because there are no records from Star Trek canon to say what should be happening that far into Star Trek future.
Yeah.
So do what you want, and everybody would have been on board with the new glitzy style that they've got. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, I like the design of Discovery and stuff like that. Maybe not so much the crying, but I like the design. It's a really nice. The sets visually are absolutely fantastic, and it feels like a movie. Every episode feels like a movie.
Absolutely.
The production values are fantastic. And they did get a few things right. Like in JoJo's ready room, there's a rack of books behind her, and all of them on the spines are the names of TOS episodes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So the people who are working on the shop floor, so to speak, did their level best.
Yeah. No, again, great.
And I appreciate that.
Great. No, it's great. Even Discovery. Look, there's so much I don't like about Discovery, but there's so much that's impressive about Discovery, right? It's because it's Star Trek. Because it's great. It's great TV making, whether or not you think it's great TV. I'll leave it at that. Dustin Z says, how much would CBS have made had they picked up Axanar versus the lawsuit? Yeah, millions of dollars, and we offered it to them for free.
Who knows? They wouldn't have had the to pay their bank of lawyers in
Yeah.
the first place.
Not only would they not have spent millions of dollars suing us, but they would have made millions of dollars. Put Axanar put it on your on your website and draw people to your website. Watching the 5.5 million views that are on YouTube could have been on your website. But thank you, Michelle. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. That's true. I have a huge passion for Star Trek.
I'm sorry for anybody that saw Mike's comments there. Put him on a timeout. He's complaining of how Star Trek is woke and stuff like that. It's always It's always been inclusive.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the 60s, you had a black woman as part of the command crew.
Yeah, 60 years ago.
With
Remember,
lines.
10 years after segregation ended in the United States.
But back when they were still, they were still frowned upon. Even though it wasn't legal anymore, it was still prejudice and racism was still actively practiced.
Yeah.
Black people would still get pulled over by the police if they had a shiny car, for example. Whose car is this? Where did you get it? Such and such. And you've got one on the command deck of a starship, along with a Russian. And then you had Kirk kiss Uhura as well. It's always been inclusive. Just because they've taken that a little bit further now, it doesn't mean that it's bad.
Yeah, I think this is true that Disco would have been okay without being Trek. I think that's true. Matthew Bracey. Hey, how are you, Matthew Bracey? Yes, it has been a long time. It's good to see you again. Yeah, there you go. Agree with that.
Well, yeah. That's the reason why if they wanted to do the visual update, which they did, because no one's going to believe a ship of the future these days would have jelly beans for buttons and stuff like that as the TOS. So they had to have touchscreen and flashy screens. Put it in the future.
Yeah, Jerry, as we've said many times, subscribe to the newsletter, read the newsletter. We discuss it, but you're today's guy who asked the question that everyone here knows the answer to, but it's coming this summer. So just subscribe to our newsletter and read it, and you'll be updated on everything. You'll get all the notifications of YouTube videos and everything. You've only been watching for 4 years, huh? That's cool, Nemesis.
I'm sure Nemesis said Prelude to Axanar got them into Star Trek. I'm sure they said that earlier on in the comment stream.
Yeah, I actually like the David Cronenberg bit as well. I thought that was cool.
I like his character, and I like how he says, "You can't surprise me." Oh, you did. Something like that. I can't remember the exact line, but I thought, yeah, that's quite cool.
So yeah, listen, Jerry. Here's a good question. So if say Warner Brothers buys it, understand this: if Warner Brothers buys it, nothing changes until Warner Brothers decides to change it, right? So if Warner Brothers were to acquire Star Trek, nothing would change with Star Trek until Warner Brothers made the decision to change it. All it would be, they just have a different owner, right? Now, what we would certainly do is we would definitely hope that everyone would go to Warner and say, hey, would you lighten up on fan films or fire these bums over here or whatever. But nothing would change. So, but we will hope we will have a more enlightened group owning Star Trek in the future. So that's really good. So good question there, Jerry. Scott, who's adopted a few of the kittens that we've had. We've got a whole bunch here. Oh, look, it's hello, Eduardo, and thank you for joining our YouTube channel. Thank you so much.
Welcome on board.
Yes. So thank you. We appreciate it. We're rampant. And this live stream is the first of we're basically ramping up for the release of Axanar this year. Later this month, we're going to be on March 31st. We're going to be releasing, Mark Edward Lewis is going to be releasing, but we will be promoting his fan film, which is called The Icarus Maneuver, which he shot a year ago. And he's been working on, which very exciting about that. Oh yeah, hey, you CJ, that's fine. Listen, and what you've done is you guys have just proved to us that a midday live stream is a great idea. I mean, we've been averaging 47 to 50 viewers the entire time. That is worthwhile for us to come on and be talking to you all. And we hope we can increase that. I did notice that we've had an increase of people on the YouTube channel. And listen, subscribe, hit the notification icon, like this webcast. Please, just go there and like, because right now we have how many? Right now, we have 39 likes. Right, so that means some of you are not liking our live stream. So please like it. Very important.
I think the way it works, the more that we like it, the more audience we get, because the more people get it in their notifications and stuff like that.
Make sure you get your notification. Make sure you mark it. Get them all. And Edward, send us. Thank you so much. You have to tell us about where you're from, and we will. Once I get the new store up, we're gonna also have the specials for everyone here, because I've got like some great books to give away to you all, and I've got so much stuff that we're gonna do like that. So, but anyway, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yes, live long and prosper to you as well, my friend. We appreciate it. Red Tiller. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Jefferson's going to come in on some of the live streams as well. But we're building a new team. Listen, Jefferson came on. He came down to our shoot, and he is just doing such an amazing job editing for us, handling the podcast. And I basically said, hey, you're a YouTube producer. You're doing such an amazing job. So very excited to have him on board. He's really wonderful. And listen, hey, people, Nemesis, we love people like you. You're a new fan. You came into the project late. You've been awesome. Besides coining Warhammer and sex toys, you've been awesome. And we appreciate your passion, because like you get excited, we get excited, right? It's just, it goes like that. It's like we're all fans and we all want to feel that energy and that passion. And we thank you so much. Oh yeah, listen, Ian, it is my Bible. It is on my desk. I take all my notes in it. Yeah, I use it all the time. I love it. And I know that the Axanar fan group is going to have so much cool new stuff for you guys too, that we'll let you guys know about. Listen, I love doing them too, Paul. I loved them. So we're going to continue to do it.
See, someone just posted a picture of the Enterprise F, and it's looking at it from behind, slightly at an angle. They have a goal of calling the Galaxy class the fat one. The Odyssey class is fat, and he's got these thin little weedy nacelles.
The F?
The F, yeah, the Odyssey
class.
The
F is ugly. I just think the F is ugly. I like the Ross class better.
Oh, I hate the Ross class. That's like, oh my goodness, no, that's
the G and the
abortion.
G and the G looks great, but the G doesn't look like it belongs in. The G looks like it's 50 years old.
See, that's the one thing I didn't like about season 3. You can't take, and it's a fan design, which is cool. They've used a fan design. They got him on board. Awesome. Yeah. But he designed it for the motion picture to Undiscovered Country era, the Shangri-La class. And
they updated the engines and were like, okay, we'll use this.
That's what they did. And then they used the scale tool to scale it up, but they left the windows the same size. So it's, they're trying to tell us it's about the size of the Excelsior class or something like that, but it's got the windows of a smaller constitution. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, we're at an hour and 20 minutes, so we need to get going because some of us have work to do. I've got work to do here. And just listen, it's cold as hell, by the way, here.
Define cold.
Let's see. It is right now. It is, well, okay, warmed up. It's up to 52 degrees here. That's warm. That's actually walking weather. I could go take the dogs for a walk when I'm done here.
It's 11 degrees Celsius here.
Oh yeah, this is great. We are now announcing the next Axicon. Axicon will be August 2nd and 3rd. It's a Friday and Saturday. Now, Saturday and Sunday, the 3rd and 4th is the National Convention of Starfleet International, the largest Star Trek fan club. And if you're not a member of that, it's only $10 a year. I am going to strongly urge you to go to let me give you the. I'm going to show you. Okay, so here.
Also not sponsored. Everybody, he's doing this completely off his own back.
So here is their website, sfi.org. All right.
As a graphics guy, that logo really does my head in.
Yeah, I know. So, but what you're going to do is, here's what you do. Join. You go up to join or renew. Right. Individuals $10. Family of 2 is only $14. Right. So I get Crystal and I signed up all the time to this. Right. What you're going to do is, so you're going to join here. Say you join here, and when you fill out all this information, see down here it says select chapter. You're going to go down here, and you're going to choose. Look at this. USS Ares Region 2. That's us.
We're not seeing that. Well, I'm not seeing it anyway. All I'm seeing is the SFI homepage.
You know why? I know why. Let me. What? Okay. When you click to join.
There you go.
When you click to join, this will be a new membership sign up. You're going to get all these different. Fill it all in, and then down here, see where it says you choose your chapter. You choose USS Ares Region 2. Region 4 is a different USS Ares. We're Region 2. You're going to click there. Then you become a member of our chapter. I'm the CO of the chapter. Dale Simpson is the XO of the chapter. Does an amazing job. And we're really ramping up because we want to have a lot of people at the national convention and as part of Axicon. So Axicon will be on Friday at the studio. It's free. You come in, play on the sets, take all the photos you want. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're trying to get everyone from that to fly into the SFI early. Come on up. You can. There'll be Marta up to the perimeter, and then you're just going to Uber from the perimeter up, and 4 of you at a time can jump in an Uber, and it'll cost you $5. But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then Saturday, they've got their convention. We're going to take a room, and we're going to do probably 3 or 4 Axanar panels in addition to whatever SFI is doing. This is just like we did in 2019 when we partnered with the Honor Harrington Convention, and it worked out brilliantly. So we're going to do this strongly. And so you need to be a member of SFI. There is no charge for Axicon. Okay? No charge whatsoever. This is a free event for everyone. So join in, come in, be a part. It is going to be 3 days of absolute fun. I'm buying a Monster Maroon so I can cosplay it. I guess it's not cosplaying. That's our uniform for. Matter of fact, I just gave Dale his Monster Maroon, so I'm going to hopefully it fits him. So you guys need to come out for this. It's going to be a ton of fun. SFI.org. It's going to be here in Atlanta. Scott, I hope you'll be able to come out for it.
Check the comment thread. He's active on it right now.
Are you, Nemesis? Are you up in Vulcan? I mean, we've been up there. We were at Vulcan back in 2015, and I have very good friends in. Where the dinosaur museum is.
No, I think I think possibly they mean do it in Vulcan, Alberta, because of the planet Vulcan and stuff.
Oh yeah, what we're doing is I'm trying to get all the Atlanta-based actors from Axanar to SFI on Saturday for an autograph signing, for a big panel and an autograph signing. I'm so excited about this. This will be a blast because we have 7 actors. So me, Crystal has got a role in it now, which we're really excited about. So 1, 2, Rob Pralgo, Vince Canlis, Raj Kala, Haley Leary, Jamie Rennell. 7. So there's 7 of us here in Atlanta. So I'm trying to get everyone there on Saturday. So here's what you have to do. 1, sign up for sfi.org. It's $10 a year. When you sign up, this is the sign up page here I'm showing you. You need to make sure you, under chapter, put USS Aries R2. That's Region 2. That's our chapter. I'm your CEO, Dale Simpson's the XO. Then you'll be able to come to the national convention. I'm sure there's a charge for the national convention. I don't know what it is. All right. Chris Weave is going to be there. Yes. Chris was down previously. And of course, he hosts Starfleet Tactical. So please be a part of this. Please come and we're trying to make this. And we don't know, will we have Axanar ready by then? Will it be ready for Dragon Con? We don't know. But this weekend is going to be a blowout. We'll have a trailer. We'll have so much fun. It's just going to be really awesome. So, and if you have there's a host hotel. It's the Doubletree Atlanta. You can stay there. If you want to stay up in Lawrenceville instead, I'll help you with hotels. I'll give you advice. But anyone who can be there, Scott Voigt, I expect you there. Chris Weave says he's going to be there.
If I win the lottery, I'll be there.
Yeah. If you need a roommate, if you say, hey, can I split a room with someone? We'll hook you up with someone. Drumheller. Yeah, Drumheller is where the museum is. Thank you very much, Michelle. Yeah, that's what I hear. But Drumheller's I've spent some time there. I love it. I have 2 dear friends there. Yeah, that is my 2 dear friends, Devin and Michael, live there. Yeah. So anyway, that would be awesome, Drab. Yeah. Listen, we're going to start advertising it. It's going to be a big blowout. It's going to be so much fun. It's just going to be a celebration of Axanar, along with Starfleet International, which is the best Starfleet fan club around and the biggest fan club around. So you should all be part of it. You will all love it. It's just going to be Star Trek and Axanar heaven. So please plan on that. Okay. All right. We're going to wrap this up since this is like record long live stream. We're an hour and a half. I need to go eat lunch. I need to walk the dogs. I need to get some exercise. You guys are great. This has been a lot of fun. Alexander, thank you, sir. Continued good health to the little one. We're so happy that things are going well with him. Anyone? I think we have a live stream scheduled for. Let's see. Is it Thursday night? Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. There's a live stream scheduled. Let me just check. I think it's already scheduled, so you guys should be able to check it out. Let me.
While he's doing that, one thing I can tell you, Olive, Drab, is if you want to do Dragon Con, you've got to get on it early. The hotels book out incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Think San Diego Comic Con, but bigger.
Yeah, tomorrow night, Axanar After Dark at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 11 o'clock in Europe. That's 5 o'clock on the West Coast. So that's tomorrow night's live stream. So there you are. All right, everyone, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming out. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. But we will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night for Axanar After Dark. Alexander, my friend, take care. Peace and long life. Cheers.